Marshall Collin, Fred Howard, Pedro A., Jeffrey Abram, Clifford Alexander, Oral Allen, Anthony, Gabriel Arzabi, Pam Ashford, Louis D. Ashley, Julian Baird, Steve Barnes, Barry K. Bernal, Bill Durfee, Abdul Hoffman, Pico Micheli,
Keith Berryman, Eddie Blandini, Douglas Bowen, Sandra Bragg, Keith Brandhill, Herman Brown, Mason Bullock, Janine Burks, David Carter, Charlene, Kelly Cole, Anzandro Alex Cohen, Donald Cranfield, Gessner Cruz, Daniel, William Clark, Rick Payne, David Hauser.
Let us stand and hold hands. Join hands. Join hands. This is a celebration of hope and healing. And so on this World's Aid Day, we come. We come for an understanding of who we must be at this time. We come to give information. We come for interpretation. We come for compassion. We come for commitment. Oh Lord, we come at this time as a people from many places, a people who will find great differences and yet great common ground to work on, to be with, to stand up, to embrace each other, to talk and communicate and understand each other, to see each other differently. Yes, we come from not only being different, but we come from being the same. In your image, oh God, in your image we are precious, always. And so we call upon you this morning that we might hasten the healing of those who are suffering severely under HIV and AIDS. We call upon you to hasten the scientific and technological knowledge that will have a cure, where people will not continue to have to feel and see that they are separated and isolated and cut off from each other. No, Lord, let this church be one that reaches all and says, we love you and we care and we will show you. We won't just talk about it. We will show you. We will not reject you for the way you look or what you have or what you may get. You are ours and you belong to God and to God's people. So we come stretching our arms and our love. Let us love, Lord. Thank you. Let us love. Please let us love differently so that we will be affected by the way we love and to those that we love. Thank you. So we come now. We come now and we would call together. Amen. Hallelujah. Right on. Shalom. Salam. Amen.
You have left me, and I pray that tomorrow will not be a day when another of my loved ones dies of AIDS. Too many are gone, rejected and scorned because of this careless disease, and I know that love is up to me. Cautious of the pain this world is going through, am I the only one that feels the need for something new? Ashamed that AIDS captures us like rivers catch rain, stay away from deep ends, cautious of the pain. But I know that love is up to me. Hope will grow from our love, and soon one day they will find a cure for AIDS. Until that day, I know that love is up to me.
Something. I awaken to the true me by remembering that God and God holds me in high esteem. If ever thoughts of being unloved or unlovable, of being incapable or undeserving come to mind, I remember how God sees me. God holds me in such high esteem. How can I think anything less of myself? How can I act as if I'm anyone other than the loved and capable person I am? Remembering that I am loved by and precious to God brings out the best in me. And when I think or interact with others, I know that they are precious and loved by God too. And when I look at others and remember that they are sacred creations of God, I can do no less than to love and hold them in high esteem as well. You are precious in my sight and honored, and I love you. Isaiah 43rd chapter 4th verse. HIV/AIDS, but I've been sick with a terminal illness since '72. This woman here, this man here, came to my hospital room in February '72 and he says, "Don't you have faith?" I said, "Yeah, I got faith." He says, "Don't you believe?" I said, "Yeah, I believe, but the doctor said," he said, "the doctor is nothing. Don't you believe?" I said, "Yes, that's been over 24 and a half years ago." Disdain that can come with this final illness, as I call it. Because I've gone through that before with cancer, like don't touch me at all. But this church has just kept their arms around me, the support. So when I can't deal with the medical bureaucracy, and I come from a family that's all medically trained, when I can't reach, I'm at the end of my rope, I call live, and they take care of it for me. I've had 26 years off of heroin, 13 years off of alcohol, and 3 years off of cigarettes. Heal each other. And the evidence is not just me, just look around you.
Mark Stephen Deere, Deborah Dry, Eva Mae Eames, Ed Miguel, David Igdo, Ernest Jan Ingalls, Danny A. Fowler, Javier Garcia, Kevin Glendon, Richard Jean Goldberg, David E. Goldstein, Lisa Handel, Kurt Harbold, Kurt Hishman, Reginald Simmons, Jimmy Green,
Patrick Harrington, Heavenly, Florence Henry Hill Jr., Lonnie Hobson, Gary Wayne Horner, Rob Hunter, John, Kef Kamai, Michael Keeler, Bob Kearns, Kevin, Bert Leckman, Chris Lapiga, Jerry J. LeBlanc, Stephen LeCaster, Mark Morgan, Steve Bodley, David Lesky.
Good morning, family. Good morning, my glad ensemble. My name is Sandy Southworth, and I am an incest survivor. I'm a victim of AIDS, 12 and a half years. I'm also in recovery, 4 years and 6 months. Beautiful place here. I thought I was coming for other reasons, but I've learned as I've been here as long as I have. I've been staff here for a long while. I work in the HIV/AIDS arena upstairs, and I don't know. I have never in my whole life been in a place like this. For a 48-year-old woman that's dealing with incest, abandonment, rape through my father. I have a 32-year-old son by him. And then dealing with AIDS. You know, just recently I went through something, and I never knew a family like Glad. I never had a family that was there. You know, I never knew that what death was going to be like, but I got a chance to feel it. I got a chance to see it. I got a chance to see my body go from 113 pounds to 81 pounds. Oh, but there's a God. There is a God. I need to thank my two mentors, the best people, the best parents, the best mother and father that anybody can ever have, and it's Janice Mercatani and Cecil Williams. My next is my keep you alive in there, because the Glad Ensemble sent me a tape in the hospital. I was in the hospital a month and 1 week. Mama Susan, thank you for them collard greens, girl. I want to thank Pat. I want to thank my sister Edna right here, Mama Edna right here. I want to thank Cleo. I want to thank my best friend, Jealousy. Jealousy is my ace coon boom partner. She's been there for me through the sicknesses. All the Glad have been there with me through the sicknesses. My own mama didn't come when I was sick. I have a family here. I believe in this. I got my ups and downs with this disease. I'm going to tell you, AIDS is no joke. It is no joke. When I went into shingles, I said, oh my God, what is this? But this last few months ago, family, I touched something that made me realize I got to take care of myself. I'm back again. I told the Glad Ensemble I was going to come back. I came back weighing 113 pounds. My viral count was 29,000. My viral count today is 500. My T-cells is 215. I thank Dr. Sandra Hernandez for this. I thank Ward 86. I can count my blessings today. I can give thanks today. I thank you, Glad, and Reverend Cecil Williams. All right.
love him now is the sole thing I'm after. I make his melody my life. He came to me when I knew I lost the meaning. Lifted the shadow from across my way. He touched my heart with that sweet song he was singing. Brought back the sun into my day. Oh, he is my Jesus. I'm a witness to wonder of his way. Oh, here's my Jesus, solitary reside of my day. And sometimes when my burdens seem too overbearing, my Jesus turned my tears with a single sigh. He taught me about the love people sharing. Right now, here's every reason why.
Jeff Lindholm, Louis Ramon, Stephen Lunt, Lyle, James Malone, David Maru, Ricky McCree,
David McCullough, James Merrick, Mark Thomas Mitchell, Bob Moody, Willie Moody, Robert Moore, Tony Gary, Ricky Hunter, Blake Kelly.
Robert Morrow, Patrick Mosby, Dennis Diswander, Brandy Newell, Derek Ocampo, Grant Ariette, Randall Pacheco, Harvey Payne, Miguel Gomez Pinero, Danny Kiren Dondo, Raul, Sandra Ray, Jerry Reyes, Vero Rodman, Stephen Romero Jr., Michelle Jerniak, Scott Leibold, Tom Baranaskas.
Good morning. My name is Keith. I'm a gay man living with AIDS. At last, I'm able to talk aloud about what I have so long hidden. And here's my story. I grew up suspecting there was something wrong with me, but never imagining that I was gay. Nonetheless, after years of struggle, I finally allowed myself to recognize my natural gay feelings and came out of the closet. So in 1981, I left an Air Force career, a loving wife, and an adorable 3-year-old son, and came to San Francisco. Although I accepted I was gay, I still felt shame and embarrassment. After living in a straight world for 30 years, I began to experience gay life in the 80s in San Francisco. Wow. From these experiences, I'm happy to say I finally accepted myself with pride as a gay man. From this growth, I was able to involve myself emotionally, intellectually, and sensuously with my first lover, Michael. Along this path, without knowledge, we became infected with HIV. Michael passed away 7 years ago. Now began a new internal emotional struggle, another secret to bear. Again, I felt shame and embarrassment, caused in part by society's homophobic fear, hatred, and prejudice about HIV. Misinformation about the unknown bred this fear, cruelty, and prejudice. I was afraid of becoming an outcast within and without the gay community if my HIV identity was discovered. But just as I grew to accept and be proud of my gayness, I have learned, with the help of caring friends and family, to accept and be open about my health status, despite the enormous emotional pressures to keep silent. There are many friends that I'd like to say thank you to, and my family's here today, seated in the second row. Brian, a good friend of mine, Judge Herb Donaldson, who's a gay judge for 15 years, has meant so much to me, and my mentor. Elizabeth Colton, who's my best friend, and I could spend another five hours talking about how much Elizabeth has been there for me, and just say I love her. My brother Jeff, his wife Lynn, my sister Sally, Johnny Kavanaugh, who happens to be Cecil's sister, who has taken me into her heart, and I love her very much. And I'd like them all to stand up. And finally, I'd like to also acknowledge my son Brian, who's now 17 years old, and he's proud to be here. Share my personal story. I was riddled with many fears, as you can imagine. Embarrassment, stigmatization, labeling, etc., etc. But I chose to stand up here and face these fears of shame because of Glide, where principles of inclusiveness, tolerance, and acceptance and love are actually practiced, with no religious requirements other than love and sincerity. I'm standing in this very public forum and shedding my shame because many courageous people have stood here before me and told their individual odysseys of pain, I have witnessed people tell their struggles with issues such as drug addiction, incest, domestic violence, and much more, and they each face their own fear with courage. I have seen them move from conflict to serenity. From these stories of recovery and Glide's message of unconditional love, led by Cecil and Jan, I've seen that truth cuts the shackles of fear and releases one from conflicts and miseries and banishes fear and isolation. So today, World AIDS Day, I can say with peace, not shame, I am a gay man living with AIDS. My truth will not heal me, but has given me the courage to face all my fears, whatever they may be. And in carrying this personal message, I am in a small way repaying the endless love I have received from my family who's here today, and my friends, and most importantly, you all, my Glide family. And in closing, I would like to say that we must continue to work harder at loving and accepting each other, including those who are courageously facing HIV and AIDS. Thank you.
by the songs, by the names, by the testimonies. And we continue in this 11 o'clock service being touched by everything. Some of the people during the break said that they stayed because they were so full of emotion and could not leave. I said, sure, because we can put our loving arms around you also. Let us take a moment to offer our prayers. Lord God, let your grace enter our prayers at this time. Empower us with compassion for all those in need and in trouble, for the hurting, for the homeless, for the hungry, for the disabled, for the despairing, for those who've lost loved ones to death. Make us strong. Make us strong, that we may be instruments of your healing, bearers of your peace, and lovers of all people. May we continue to be a community that is responsive and caring and open to anyone who comes to our doors, a sanctuary, a hope, a home that delivers on our promises and our purposes. We pray especially for mothers and fathers and parents, and relatives and friends, and loved ones, and everyone who's lost someone to this dreaded disease called AIDS. We pray for faith to overcome our fear, hope to overcome our hurt, love to overcome our loss. We offer these prayers, and we trust that you hear them as we continue to list the names of those we love who died of AIDS. Amen.
Richard Russo, Jose Guadalupe Saucedo, Angela C. Scurry, Tim C., Dan Shannon, Randy Schiltz, Steve Silver, Jerry Snell, Bruce Snyder, Len Sprague, Bud Stark, John Steenbeek, Stephen, Tony Tapalozzi, Henry Thompson, João Antonio Brito, Ribeiro Filito, Kevin Robinson, Tracy, Danny Tromp, Keith Trummer, David Van Burnt, Ron Verducci, Eric Walker, Elliot Walker, Andrell Williams, George Zepp, Andrew Ziegler, Stephen C. Eisen, Jerry Myers, Mark Fleming, Michael Chase, Richard Ramos, Michael Villadu, Michael Colionis, Garrett Ball, Richard Newman, Steve Rusk, Jim Lusk.
don't want anybody to leave. I want you to make a commitment to all this, that you will give more than you've ever given. One. And two, make a commitment that you will serve more than you serve. And thirdly, that you will help us reach out to everybody. No matter who they are. No matter who they are. Last Thanksgiving Day, the white man stood up and said, I love coming to this church because as a straight white man, I'm accepted. Stand by me. For those of you that were here Thursday, you have not heard. This young man tore up this church last Thursday. He was the last one to speak. And was he? If I would be a preacher, man, I just throw that out. I don't want to throw everything on you right now. But he comes from Oakland. Yeah. Comes from Oakland. All right. By himself. All right. We're going to let you talk a little bit. Not today, but we're going to let you talk soon. And we're going to stay with the World's Aid Day. But I want you to talk soon. Thank you. There's your seat. I might as well throw this in. You don't know it. But some of the people who read the names here today were ex-gang members. That's all right. You know what I'm saying? Now come on, let's make a contribution, right? Make a pledge and the tithes and give until you just say, you know, I didn't know I could give so much. Come on, my sister. Come on, my sister. So start taking up the money. For those who would like to become a member of Glide, we want you. We really do. Damn it, all of us want you. Now, if you wanted that much, it seems to me you ought to come on. Say, I'm ready. Go through that door after we finish today. And the first door to your left, there'll be people there to greet you and meet you. You'll only be there for a short time. Thank you for that. Jen, would you come give some announcements?
I know that love is up to me. I know that love is up to me. That line from Lucinda's beautiful poem, we've reproduced an excerpt from that poem in our Glide World AIDS Day commemorative card. And I urge all of you to go downstairs to Freedom Hall and purchase that card or to make a contribution in memory of someone you love. And with Michael Fargo's magic, you can have those personalized cards within moments. All proceeds from those cards go to the Glide HIV/AIDS programs, which reach hundreds of people each year with prevention, education, testing, and counseling services. Today has been a very moving and hopeful celebration, I hope for you also. And so many people, volunteers, staff, children, and youth have come together to make it such a meaningful event. Cecil, Ron, and I wish to thank all of you who participated in this celebration, and thank you particularly to the Glide Band and to this wonderful Glide Ensemble. Thank you. Dances. We invite you all to a reception in Freedom Hall where cake and refreshments will be served. Also downstairs are several organizations with whom Glide enjoys a partnership, who work tirelessly in the field of AIDS prevention and education. They have their information tables along with us. Please find out about the important work that they are all doing to combat this dreaded disease. Today, all announcements have been printed up on flyers, believe it or not, so be sure you take one as they are passed out, and find out about Glide's many holiday activities, our plans to serve over 7,000 Christmas meals, our grocery bag and new toy distribution, and our adopted family programs, to name a few. We need your support, your loving arms around us, your generosity, especially now, ever more than ever before. Thank you. Thank you for your generosity. Thank you for being a family.
For those of you that worked this week here at Glide as a volunteer, would you raise your hands? Let us see. Just raise your hands. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Glide Ensemble. You have done a marvelous job. I want you to know. I want to thank you for being here today. Herb Donaldson, the judge over there, and I started out together 33 years ago, 30-some odd years ago, I don't know. I went with him along with some other clergy and warriors to get arrested. Because we had been, I have to put this in, because we had been to talk to the sex detail of the police department, because they didn't want us to, we were going to have a ball over on a fundraiser over on Polk Street. Is Polk Street? Yeah, Polk Street, that's right. This was really, literally about 25 to 30 years. I don't remember because it's been so long ago. You gotta remember, I don't remember all that stuff. Okay? But anyway, we went there that night, and I'm standing up there with my collar on, y'all. My clerical collar. I think that's the only time I've worn it. But anyway, I had my clerical waiting to be arrested. And they had said that they were going to arrest us, but what they did, they went around the ministers and went to the lawyers and arrested them. You know, you're begging to be arrested. Arrest me, please, please. I'm going through all that. Listen, no, we won't, we don't want them, We're afraid that y'all will bring the wrath of God. I'm so glad that we started out together. Because I've been a part, and Jen has been a part of every community. There's no community you cannot say that we either were demonstrating with them or against them. We'll stop. Cliff Crummy. I don't know. Is he here? Is he here? Yeah. Where's Cliff Crummy? Where are you? Where are you, Cliff Crummy? Oh, there you. This is the man that brought me here to start all the trouble. Right there. And I understand that you got the sons and the whole families here, right? And these sons, they're not family, Cliff Crummy family. There they are. His wife and their mother just died this past week. And our love goes, you know that, Cliff. Our love goes to him. I always get moved when I talk. Yeah, the memorial service is going to be at Trinity Methodist Church this afternoon. But thank you all. enjoyed so much. This is a good journey we've been on. We continue to do. Good journey. It's like an exodus. Like an exodus. Then I ask you, and I'm asking you again, Matthew, to read some of your poetry as we close out. I want everybody to stand.